Association to educate people on the importance of working smoke alarms in the home. The campaign has a simple call to action: install, test, and replace. The City of Tuscaloosa's public safety officer, Holly Wiggum, says the amount of time you have to escape a house fire has declined.
Well, the number one thing we want to tell people is that they want to make sure they have smoke alarms, not just smoke alarms, but working smoke alarms, because it may sound cliche, but they really do save lives. Because 30 years ago, you had 17 minutes to escape a house fire safely. Today, you have roughly 2 minutes, and that's because of the synthetic materials that houses are built with and the furnishings in the houses. They burn hotter and they burn faster. So you're left with very little time to get out safely. And having that working smoke alarm in your home gives you that extra few minutes to get out and to get out safely.
Smoke detectors should be tested once a month and replaced every 10 years. If you or someone you know needs a smoke alarm inspection or installation within the City of Tuscaloosa, call 205-248-5420. And the Tuscaloosa Police Department has a new app. The app can be used to submit anonymous tips, to directly message your child's school resource officer, file a police report, and more. You can find it in the Google Play or the Apple Store. Simply search Tuscaloosa PD. A fatal accident today has claimed the life of a Cottondale teenager. The crash happened this morning on State Route 216, just outside of Tuscaloosa. The victim was transported to an area hospital for treatment before succumbing to the injuries. No other people were involved in the accident, and no other information is available as the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency Highway Patrol Division continues to investigate. And the rate of whooping cough has doubled in 2024 and is becoming a concern for parents. 96 cases have been reported to the Alabama Department of Public Health so far this year. Anyone can catch it, and it acts like a cold. The Alabama Department of Public Health has some information to help identify it. It starts with cold symptoms, runny nose, cough, and congestion. It mimics symptoms from a common cold. The only difference, it causes a lingering and severe cough that can last for months. The biggest concerns are for infants, who can receive vaccines as early as 6 weeks. And this flu season, if you are searching for a healthcare provider, one option may be as close as your own neighborhood. Today's Health Matters has more.
Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Friend. Taking control of and improving your health requires the most relevant and timely health information available. And University Medical Center is here to help with facts and advice about important health topics that you care about. We know that your health matters. So University Medical Center is part of the College of Community Health Sciences. College of Community Health Sciences does a lot of things, but we run and operate the University Medical Center, which is a primary care medicine specialty practice. And by that I mean we focus on primary care. We have family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, psychiatry, psychology, as well as endocrinology and neurology. So we're very busy here at our main location, but we also have locations in 5 other locations, one in Northport. We have a brand new clinic down there right behind the Lowe's and Aldi's by the Tuscaloosa Airport. We also have a clinic in Carrollton, Alabama, which is in Pickens County. Fayette, we do prenatal care, which is a service that's much needed there. There are no OBGYNs up in that area, so those patients come see us, and then we deliver them either at the DCH or Northport campus. We also have clinics in Sumter County and Marengo County. You can hear the entire interview by visiting our website at umc.ua.edu. And for all your primary health care needs, visit University Medical Center with locations in Tuscaloosa, Northport, Demopolis, Fayette, Carrollton, and Livingston. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Health Matters.
And Tuscaloosa's movable feast concluded today. Schoolyard Roots hosted the feast to support local foods and farms produced in school gardens. 12 Tuscaloosa restaurants and breweries featured unique dishes to support Schoolyard Roots. The money that was raised this week will go directly to the nonprofit in garden education for Tuscaloosa students. And Temerson Square downtown might get a little brighter. Alabama Power and the Tuscaloosa City Council are not far from a decision on installing and upgrading 20 streetlights in the area of 4th Street and 23rd Avenue in downtown Tuscaloosa. Alabama Power wants to brighten the bulbs on 13 current streetlights on the square and install 7 new streetlights. Many residents agree that enhancing the lighting on one of the most populated blocks downtown will improve safety. And the 77th annual Tuscaloosa Toys for Tots application will soon be open. Applications will be accepted beginning at midnight on October 15th and remain open until all slots are filled. Sponsors are asked those who complete an application to use a real name, a valid email address, and a working phone number. Visit tuscaloosa-al.toysfortots.org to apply. And a split between opinions on abortion from the former First Lady and former President Trump, how this affects presidential campaigning, and a recent security breach has telecommunications companies and the government searching for answers. What information is at risk? WVUA23 News will return with more. And Senator J.D. Vance is joining Donald Trump in trying to downplay a newly revealed split between Melania Trump and her husband on abortion. The former First Lady stirring controversy by publicly declaring her support for abortion rights. Analysts say it's unusual for a First Lady, current or former, to say all this in the middle of a campaign season. CNN's Brian Todd has more.
Tonight, more reaction to Melania Trump's newly revealed stance on abortion rights, this time from Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance.
Melania is entitled to her own views in the same way the people of Georgia are entitled to their own views, and I don't believe I have to attack or disagree or criticize anybody on this issue.
The former First Lady coming out in favor of abortion rights, ahead of her forthcoming memoir, Melania.
Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom.
It's a position seemingly at odds with her husband's, but former President Trump doesn't seem to mind.
We spoke about it, and I said, you have to write what you believe. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to write what you believe.
One First Lady historian calls Melania Trump's position jaw-dropping.
First ladies do not show any daylight between themselves and their husbands, but in modern history, we've had Laura Bush, Barbara Bush, both women who were pro-choice, married to men who were not pro-choice. And so they wouldn't have ever said it during a campaign season.
This, as the former First Lady is also shaking up the political and media landscape in other ways. In an interview with Fox News, criticizing Secret Service leadership before the assassination attempts on her husband.
Our team asked many times for more security, more help, and they were denied. For the top leadership, you have a question marks. And that's all on this administration that they could give permissions what to do.
CNN has reported that Donald Trump's security detail had complained prior to the assassination attempts that they were not being given enough resources by the Secret Service. The agency has acknowledged it didn't provide some of what Trump wanted, but has since ramped up his security. Melania Trump also telling Fox in a separate interview this.
I think both of the events, they were really miracles. If you really think about it, the July 13 was a miracle, like that much, and he could not be with us.
And we are learning about a major security breach affecting some of the country's leading telecommunications companies. Sources tell CNN a suspected group of Chinese government-linked hackers infiltrated several broadband and internet providers, such as AT&T, Verizon, and Lumen. Investigators suspect the hackers were likely looking for national security or other sensitive information. Sources say investigators believe the hackers potentially accessed wiretap warrant requests, but the government is still trying to determine what information the hackers may have obtained. U.S. officials are concerned about the potential national security damage done by the hacking. The security breach was only recently discovered. The companies allegedly targeted have not commented, nor has the Justice Department or FBI.
Well, cool temperatures are on the way this week. I'll have the full forecast and what it means for your work week coming up in weather. Well, good Sunday evening to you. We're rounding out another weekend of pretty warm weather conditions. We're quiet across central Alabama here. Nothing moving in or out of the state. Quiet in Tuscaloosa as well. No, you can't see it, but we're very calm wind across there. So we're measuring 72 degrees, and our high temperature today got up into the upper 80s. So that's very unseasonable for this time of year. You see there 87. Our average is actually 81, and we're also above average on our low end as well. So 64 degrees, definitely above that average there. Now tonight, we are going to fall into the lower 60s, so it's going to be a comfortable evening for you. Got mostly clear and nice. Now tomorrow morning, that sets up very comfortable tomorrow morning as well as you're going off to work or getting the kids on the bus. 64 degrees at drop off, and in the afternoon it's all sun there. 85 degrees, another warm day. Now we do have a cold front that's going to push through during Monday, and we're not actually going to see the impacts of this cold front until about Monday night going into Tuesday. So your morning lows on Tuesday are going to look like this. Now 54 there in Birmingham, 53 in Jasper. I think this is an inaccurate reading. We're probably going to be in the mid 50s as well. So it's definitely going to be a little bit cooler as you wake up there on Tuesday, feeling a little bit more like fall. So here's what that temp trend looks like. 85 on Monday. You see the significant drop. I say significant, it really is 5-6 degrees. But this puts us right back on average for where we're supposed to be this time of year. You see the average high as 81 degrees. Now our average low is going to coast in the mid 50s, and that's definitely going to feel like that fall-like temperatures there. And our dew points, on the other hand, are also going to be very low. 48 there, getting down into the lower 40s by next weekend. So this is that crisp, really dry air that we normally associate with for the fall. So no moisture in the air, no humidity means no rain chances. So we're going to be very clear for the foreseeable future. And without rain, we're going to be really dry. And this is climatologically, as we were saying earlier in the show, our driest month of the year, and October tends to be. But we do have a really big drought going on right now, moderate drought to our western counties and very moderate drought down here to our southern counties. Pretty much all dry across the rest of central Alabama. We have had some rainfall that did help this out, but we're not expecting rain for the next 10, 15 days, that is, or no indication of rain. So we don't see this actually getting any better, just worsening by this point. So that's something just to keep in mind. But here's your extended forecast. You can see warm there on Monday. We get cooler going into Tuesday, and we have full sunshine for the next several days ahead. Upper 80s there for your afternoon highs there going into the weekend, and we have lows in the mid 50s. Now, the good thing, Laura, is this is a very boring week in terms of our weather. We're getting right back down to our climatological average for this time of year. So
yeah, and Nick, last weekend we talked about it, pumpkin spice latte weather. You said in the mornings and the evenings. Does your forecast mean that's finally changed?
Yes, it means it's finally changed. We're starting to get that fall-like crisp in the air. You know, we're only going to get up into the upper 70s in the afternoon, maybe even touching 80. I mean, that's really not that warm. So yeah, I'd say fall is here.
Yeah, well, your forecast didn't stop me from getting PSLs, but you know.
Yeah, you're dedicated.
I am. Well, Nathan Brown is in for WVUA Sports. Nathan, good evening.
Good evening, Laura. And an absolutely crazy day in college football it was yesterday. I'll let you know what that means moving forward in the SEC and college football playoff coming up next in sports.
About football is opportunity, so now we have the opportunity to get better. We have an opportunity to reflect, and so this is going to be so important for us as a group to really just channel in, acknowledge that there's still room for us to improve and get to the best of our ability. I still trust the guys in the locker room. That's no question.
Good evening, I'm Nathan Brown, and that was Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe talking about moving forward following Alabama's collapse in Nashville in a 41-34 loss to Vanderbilt. Now, Saturday night, it was the Commodores with the opportunity to make history, and they did just that. For a moment, it felt like it would be just enough of Milroe magic and Williams to survive the early scares, but it was not. All the talk leading up to this one was about the trap game, and Alabama got caught. Earlier in this one, I saw 3 steps to the trap. 13 points the Commodores scored off a pick six and a fourth quarter strip sack. Now the second point, time of possession, 42-17. Whether it was penalties, miscues, or everything in between, the Alabama defense could not get off the field, and that wear and tear showed down the stretch. And now the third point was Number 2, Diego Pavia. You heard about him all week coming into this one, and he came out firing, leading his team with no fear. Pavia finished with 300 total yards and 2 touchdowns to deliver Vanderbilt the biggest win in program history. Now, after the game, Coach DeBoer shared his thoughts following his first loss as Alabama's head coach.
They just did a nice job on third down. I really don't feel like they would have probably been pressing as much, especially given the score. Letting their defense go out there and do their thing. That's what they've done through, the first games that they've played is played team football, played field position. I think they'd only gone for it 3 times, I think, all year going into today. So, we needed to get off the field on third down. And, again, there's things in all phases that we can do better. We need to take care of the football. We need to get off the field on third down. And so, we're going to own it as a team, and we're going to, keep moving forward.
I mean, an absolute stunner in Nashville. And needless to say, there was no shortage of chaos. Saturday, 4 top 11 teams losing to unranked opponents, and the SEC was absolutely in the mix. Let's take a look at how this week's AP poll has shaken up. Texas reclaims the top spot. Georgia remains at 5 after a 31-13 win over Auburn. Alabama and Tennessee fall to 7 and 8 after the upsets, followed by Ole Miss. Now LSU stays put at 13, while Texas A&M made a huge statement, beating down the 9th-ranked Missouri Tigers in a 41-10 blowout, moving the Aggies up 10 spot, while Missouri fell to 21. And OU is tied at 18 with K-State and Indiana. A lot of mixing and matching in the poll this week. But we're going to take you out to Talladega, as it was a beautiful day on the raceway as the Yellowhead 500 got underway. With 5 laps to go, that is when chaos would ensue, as this wreck, record-breaking 28 total cars involved in the wreck here, sending this race into overtime. Now, in overtime, turning the corner, and it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. beating out Brad Keselowski and William Byron in the overtime photo finish. What a win for Stenhouse and his team, as he takes it with a 0.0 margin of victory. His 4th win of the Cup Series, his 2nd at Talladega, and his 1st since winning the Daytona 500 in 2023. Now let's take a look at Bama in the NFL, and let's take a look at some defense. Xavier McKinney, another interception. That's right, 5 straight games with the interception for McKinney this season with the Packers. I mean, he has got off to a phenomenal start, one of the best in the NFL. Now, keeping it on the defensive track, Gardner Minshew looking to hit Brock Bowers here, but he overthrows it, and Patrick Surtain is going to take it all the way to the house, 100 yards on the pick 6 for PS2. But he wasn't done there. Later on, in the 4th quarter, drops back, tip ball, and Surtain is going to come away with this one too. 2 interceptions for PS2 in the 34-18 victory. Now, San Francisco Cardinals, Mac Wilson Sr., you see with the interception here, and then later on in the 4th, a huge turnover to take the Cardinals back up when he recovers the fumble. Now, Derrick Henry, if Bama in the NFL, we have King Henry, a career day, 100 career touchdowns for King Henry to go with 10,000 career rushing yards, 52 of them on this play, setting up the game-winning field goal in time for Baltimore. Now, we had a thriller in Foster Auditorium, Alabama taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. It was just a great match all the way throughout. This one going back and forth, back and forth. Georgia would take the first, but later on in the second, Alabama would flip the momentum, winning 28-26 to tie it back up. Now, Alabama and Georgia, after going back and forth, Georgia would claim the 3rd set. Now, the turning point would come for Alabama in the 4th, as they would win this set 25-18 and stay in the game. Now, in the deciding 5th and final set, Alabama holds on and puts the Dogs away, closing out the rally to get the 15-11 win. Now, Alabama beats Georgia with the final of 3-2, securing their first SEC win of the season. Absolutely great to see the game that we had there, Laura. Amazing game in Foster Auditorium today.
All right, well, we'll be right back. And thank you. That's our report for tonight. Have a good night, y'all.